Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Wisdom Meets Innovation, AI for Women Entrepreneurs 50 plus, but whoever wants to join in, it doesn't have to be just women over 50. My name is Cheryl Cooper, and I'm the founder of the Women's, I just went back in history, CLC Consulting Group, and I am here with my very good friend, Larissa Russell.
Yes, of Heart Centered Academy. And please excuse my look today. I have an eye infection, but I was not going to cancel, so I am here.
She's a trooper if there's ever one available. Hey, you guys, if you want to get in the chat and have a conversation with us, please do. Hopefully you were able to navigate the pattern that we set up, the process that we set up. So you clicked from LinkedIn and then came into our YouTube channel. The reason why you're on our YouTube channel is because we need to grow our followers there. So please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel so you can get the latest and greatest that will be coming from us as we grow this collaboration. We came up with this idea about a month and a half ago and just went straight in. And one of the things that happened was someone sent me a message, and it was from LinkedIn originally. And it asked the question, is AI making us smarter or lazy or smarter, or something like that? And Larissa and I are always talking about AI. We use it every single day in our businesses as we help entrepreneurs grow and expand their business. And so I've always been wanting to collaborate with Larissa. And I'm like, come on, this is the perfect thing for us to do. We had started something else and then this came all together. So
Yeah. And I'm excited to have this conversation and many more, right? We have so many different ideas that we want to share. And we thought we'd start with this one when Cheryl said, she asked this question of me, and it started this whole conversation around what we use AI for, what the changes are coming, all of those different things. And so for those of you who are watching right now, I'd love to know, do you think it's making us lazy or smarter, or somewhere in between? What's your thoughts on that as we get into our conversation? Cheryl, where do you want to?
Kenny, I'm trying to figure out, navigate our technology here as a techno geeky kind of person. So the comments, when they comment, are they commenting on?
They comment anywhere on YouTube, wherever they are watching us, they can comment there, and it's going to all come to us here. I usually do the driving here in StreamYard, so I know it a little bit more than Cheryl does. And so, yeah, if you click on the comments button, Cheryl here in the studio, if anybody comments, it'll come straight into there.
Okay, yeah. So we can't see who's watching or anything like that right now.
We can see how many are watching and where they're coming from, but not who specifically.
You can see it on your side.
Oh, you can't see it?
No.
Oh, okay. Yesterday, we both, my friend Deb and I were in the studio together, and we both could see it. So I'm surprised at that. Technology. Here's what we're here for. All right. Well,
okay. So, yeah. Huh? How can I see? I want to see. So you guys bear with us for just a minute, because I want to be able to see who's here, because I know some of the people that will be here, and I want to be able to direct conversation. There it is. Thank you. Hey, Anna. Nice to see you here. Okay, cool.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yes. So, everyone tell Cheryl that you're here so that she knows.
I like that interaction. I like the interaction that takes place. So if we dive into that conversation a little bit more, we started looking at it, and we use AI all the time to assist us in developing business strategies and concepts and content for our personal businesses, as well as to assist people that we coach in their businesses. And we had the conversation, like, is it really making us lazy, or is it making us smarter? And Larissa, what was your answer to me? Do you remember?
Yeah, because I can tell you, right off the bat, it depends on how you use Okay, because I am a proponent of you need to know your topic. You still need to be the expert and use AI to enhance that. If you are using AI to come up with the answers that you don't know, I think that's lending itself towards the lazy. If you are the expert in your field and you're using AI to enhance that, there is so much more that you're probably not thinking of. I use it often to do outlines for me because it thinks of things that I don't always, oh, right. New people might not know that. It reminds me of those things. So I use it a lot for that, to give me an outline, or to, what are questions that they might ask, just to see if I'm on the right page, if there's anything I need to add. And sometimes there is, because I didn't think of those things. So I really think it depends on how you use it. That's
I
a big,
agree with you 100%.
yeah.
And then there's the validation part, right? So when we come up with these great ideas about how to create something brand new, it's easy to go into one of the tools. And we know that there are many tools now, and they're changing at the speed of light, right? So it's easy to go in and validate an idea
Mm-hmm.
and then build out um, a set of content or strategy or programs or email lists and all of those things as entrepreneurs in your business. And for me, the way that I think that it is kind of making me a little lazy, but not fully making me lazy, is before I will write an email, I'll go straight into ChatGPT and be like, write an email for me.
Mm-hmm.
And most recently, I was doing that and working with my coach. And she got frustrated with me because she was like, Cheryl, it's not telling the story. I need you to provide an authentic story of how you've progressed through whatever the situation was. So she and I went back and forth, and eventually I ended up with an incredibly good email that was a combination of the two. But a majority of it was just the authentic conversation between she and I about my journey into developing one of the programs I designed. So I'm on the fence too, or not on the fence. I'm a believer of, yes, it's making us a little bit lazy, but I'm very, very much impartial to the fact that it is making me smarter, a
Yeah.
lot smarter.
And it's not just about being, more proficient and being able to do more and produce more. It's the things that you don't think of, right? I often use it now, like go and search out information, so that, and cite resources, like cite the sources that you got it from, so that I know, and so that I can decide, am I going to go deeper into something or not? So I've really loved that part. As someone who loves research and learning, I have used it a lot for that, to go and look for the thing so I don't have to waste my time. And then I can decide, oh yeah, I want to know more about that, and dig into it more. But just as you were talking about the emails too, as someone who is on the spectrum, and tone has always been an issue for me. I can write a manual
Mm.
like nobody's business. I can write instructions, but a flowery email is not my forte. And so AI has been my best friend, because I can write the words, but then like make it sound pretty, make it sound more enticing. So I put the tone into it, because I don't always have the tone. So that's been a big one for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And we did a little bit of research about some of the things that it can do for you, and as a productivity partner and not as a crutch. And that's basically what we've been talking about. We want to emphasize the importance of it being a complement to our human skills. It's a complement. It's not something that completely replaces us. And then that's where that AI and human potential aspect of our title comes in, because it's a complement to the skills. And many of the women, all of the women that I saw that were registered, are either some type of technical background or an entrepreneur. And so we are super smart. We know exactly what we need to say, but it helps to emphasize our human skills and excel and accentuate our genius. I'm being very confident today. That's interesting. And it can help us to do shortcuts, and
Mhm.
so it saves us time and money. And then, one of my favorite parts of this whole thing is that you can integrate mindfulness into it. Just like you were talking about how you were doing the tones and all of that, you can integrate the tone and be very mindful so that it applies to your audience in such a way that it's more enticing and therefore assist you in doing more conversions in your business. And then you want me to keep going, or you want to say some
Yeah,
things?
no, I was going to say, yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big part of using it. It's like being very mindful of what you're using it for. And I've
Mhm.
had this conversation right from day one with my community is knowing what you're using it for, understanding that if you don't know what you're talking about, it could be inserting things that you don't want in there that are maybe not true. And it has gotten better. I've noticed a huge difference over this last year, but being very mindful of how you use it and what you're using it for. And not in this episode, but later on, we're going to talk about some other things to do with, the problems behind AI as well.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that today, but we want to be very mindful of what we're using it for and how we're using it. And, but it is a really great tool. It is a really great tool. And Cheryl, did you want
Yeah.
to go on?
Yeah, I wanna share some more. Even staying in that mindfulness aspect of it, I think that it's important for us to realize that it does enhance our human creativity, but we also have to maintain our own human creativity. Like, I will be quick to jump into a Leonardo and then talk to you, and you're like, no, we can take it and we can put it over in Canva and we make it better, just like our new logo, which I love, love, love the graphic for our meetings. I fell in love with that, but that came out of your creative genius versus me just pulling. So I didn't pull it down, but I would have pulled something out of Leonardo or somewhere, right? So we can use it that way. And then the critical thinking, like inside of ChatGPT, using the different versions now,
Mm.
I'm I'm blown away by it, right?
Yeah, I've
To
absolutely loved that. Being able to, and I'll ask the same question or put the same prompt in to each version just to see what it comes up with because it does think differently, right? For each of those versions in ChatGPT. And that's been my go-to because it was, the first sort of
first.
easily accessible. But I have
Mhm.
a number of AI tools that I now use. And yeah, yeah.
Well,
I feel
that's great.
smarter.
I do too. I
Yeah.
really do. I really do. And still on the lazy side when it comes to not wanting to think some things through, right?
Mm.
But let's talk about navigating the AI driven landscape. So you just said there's a number of AI tools, and ChatGPT is, I know, one of the ones that you want to use on a regular basis. What are some of the
Mhm.
other ones you use?
Well, I'm a big fan of Suno.
Oh, that's right.
Suno is to create music, and I never knew I needed theme songs for everything, but I did, and so I have theme songs for everything.
I don't know if you guys remember Ally McBeal, but it's almost like that's what happens with Larissa. Every time we're in a meeting for whatever collaboration we're working on, she comes with these banging theme songs. They
Oh,
are
I love it.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
love it. And so I do use ChatGPT and Suno together because I find the lyrics better, and then also I can adjust them because I'll often take what it puts out and then adjust them, and then put that in for the music in Suno. So I absolutely love that one. Um, I haven't found like the best art or graphics one. Dolly's pretty good. There's a few others that I've tried. I can't think of the names all of a sudden.
Leonardo is one too.
And there's one that starts with an M that's gone right out of my head. As an artist, as you can see from my background, as an artist, I really do struggle with what it comes up with. And so I'm more likely to come up, like maybe ask it for an idea if I'm kind of stuck in an idea. So I'll, tell it what I want and then ask it for ideas. And then I'll take that and create something that may have some ideas, or it'll spark an idea for me. So I do use it a lot, AI in different forms for idea generation. So I find, again, that's a smarter because, I'm not sitting there wasting my time trying to come up with all the ideas. It'll spark those things within me, and then I can take that and run. And I know I have dozens of them that I use, and all of a sudden, as we're talking about it, it's like, why don't I have a list right here?
I'll prompt you. You'll follow when I say these things. You'll be like, oh yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
for me, the ones that I use for like my mindfulness presentations that I'm doing for corporate America or corporate, and it's basically been corporate America, I'll use Beautiful AI. Right? Beautiful AI is for me, a step above, maybe 2 steps above PowerPoint because of the options that it allows you to bring into it and the simplicity of use, as well as it prompts you inside for using AI options along with graphics, and it'll help you with your text, all of that. And then I love some Perplexity, right? For the research side of things and
I
understanding.
tested it against ChatGPT, and I'm just going to say very similar. If you ask it for sources, very similar.
Yeah, but you have to ask it for sources. Perplexity just gives them to you. Lazy. Can we say lazy? There's a primary example of that. And then I do collaborations with many people. My brother and I do quite a bit together. And he has just turned me on to this whole thing with Media AI, which is developing agents. And the agents will do it's like writing a workflow. I forget how we said. So one portion of it writes the workflow. Don't go get it yet. I'll talk to you about it afterwards.
I'm always like, let me go check that out.
Squirrel, don't get that squirrel. And then so you work with 2 aspects of it. One creates the workflow, and then the agent goes out and does the action. So it's really super cool. It's the next and greatest thing. And in fact, we talk about things taking away opportunities or possibilities. Agents are gonna make this stuff a little bit sticky and confusing for a little while, and almost, I want to say, scary. But that's the purpose of us creating this wisdom meets innovation, because women over 50, we're smart, we're savvy, we've got a whole lot of things going on. All women are. But we've got a little bit more seasoning behind us. That's not the word I want to use, but wisdom and experience, life experiences. So we can take those tools and skills that we've used in corporate America or other entrepreneurial experiences and put them into these agents that will propel our businesses forward in so many different ways. One of the things that he and I talked about was how this media AI, it might be AI or IO, can assist you in developing an app. And one of my other businesses was the traveling foodologist. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, Sissy, he calls me Sissy. Sissy, you could use that to go on and build that app, so people will know how to find gluten-free food in certain restaurants and locations, different than the gluten-free app, the other app. But anyway, it's things like that I've dreamed about doing but never could do because there's only a solo entrepreneur here. Whereas when we use AI, it can help to make us smarter.
Well, and I think too, that's a really good point about the solopreneur. When you're trying to do all the things, right? When you're trying to do all the things, and maybe you have help for this one thing or this other thing, but there's still this huge pile of things as an entrepreneur that you need to do. And so having that help that can either speed things up, or, maybe it's not your expertise. Like for me, it's copywriting, because of course it's all emotional, and, I'm very, instructions. I can tell you how step 1, 2, 3. And so those sort of things where I give it the parameters. Okay, this is the content I want in there. This is what, make it more enticing, make it more. And so I don't have to sit there for hours or hire a copywriter. I've got that right there. And then I still, now this is a caveat also that I always say in my community, is don't ever take whatever comes out of ChatGPT or any AI as the final word. Put your spin on it from there, because it is very noticeable when people use AI, right? It has its own language. It has its own personality.
Deep dive.
What is that stupid one that it always puts at the beginning of the emails? Because I always cut it out.
It annoys me. And I'll be like, don't put that in there.
Yeah. Those ones. But but it also has a tone, right? It has a tone to it. Even when you ask it for a specific tone, you can tell that it's AI. And so I often will go back and forth, put my words into it, ask it to, make it more flowery, more enticing, and then take those words and tweak it again, just to bring it back to my voice.
And then to continue down that conversation of being a solo entrepreneur, solopreneur, it can help in so many ways in your personal life. The other day, I went in because I was having some food sensitivities, and I was like, show me, I think I did it in Perplexity, show me a list of foods that are available on the FODMAP. No, it was for foods that are low histamine or high histamine foods, because I didn't want to go searching 10 different places on Google. And it came back with a hit list. And I was like, oh. And then, in Perplexity, it'll give you the option to drill down into where the source was, which will take you further down the road and give you more knowledge than if you had to drill down in Google. So, and then writing grocery lists,
meal planning.
Meal planning. That's what I was trying to say.
Scheduling your kids. My daughter uses it for that, for scheduling your kids, the kids. She's got 3 kids. And so she uses it for organizing schedules and different things like that as well. There's so many different things you can use it for.
Yeah.
And everything nowadays seems to have a component of AI. TurboScribe, Otter, those are 2 others that I use on
that's right.
Yeah. Transcription. And, I use those ones all the time. A new one I'm trying out is Galaxy AI, which combines all of the different AI platforms into one. And because I'm so used to ChatGPT, it's not my go-to, but it's got so many things I need to. 11 Labs and Hey Jen.
Yeah.
For creating content. There's so many different things.
I don't think I would like Galaxy. I think I might get overwhelmed.
There's a lot in there. There's a lot, but it's all in one place, which is nice. It's all in one place. So, yeah, I haven't played with it enough to be able to speak to it. But there's so many things you can use it for, which then you have to worry about whether or not, are you going down a rabbit hole as an entrepreneur? Shiny object syndrome is horrible. And so we have to remember, are we going down a road that we don't need to? Are we, this sparked this new thing. Oh, let's go do that instead of what we need to. So staying focused is a big part of it. I really don't think the question is it making us lazier or smarter? Is it keeping us more focused and mindful, or is it scattering us more? That would be the bigger question to me.
And so for me to answer that with a person that's still dabbling a little bit in corporate and then working with as an entrepreneur in the corporate world, when you go in and start using the agents and HubSpot and other things like that to build out and assist with developing technology, it's absolutely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But in our personal lives, it's a little bit different.
Well, and as an entrepreneur in my business, it's like it can be super helpful, or I end up going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Like anything online, really, if you think
I was
social
gonna say
media or any of those things. So I feel smarter for it. I feel like I do a lot more research because of it.
Is there anybody else out there? What do you all feel? I see, Anna, you said that it kind of depends. It can make us both smart and lazy depending on the situation. Is there anybody else out there with a thought about how are you using it in corporate? How are you using it in your entrepreneur lives or personal lives?
Mm-hmm. Let us know what you're using it for too, that we maybe haven't mentioned. There's so many things, and I know there's more things I use it for every day, but because it becomes so rote, you don't even think about it.
Rote? That's a
A
Canadian
regular.
statement.
Yeah,
Oh,
like it just becomes so, like you just do it naturally without thinking about it, that I don't even know what I go to. I was just looking at my tabs to see what I have open, and Perplexity, ChatGPT, Galaxy AI, and I don't know what this one is. This one is you.com. That's another new one I just found. I have open right
see,
now.
that's the funny thing about that.
Yep.
We're such polar opposites. I'm like, nope, I'm sticking to that one because I don't want my brain all over the place. I want to be kind of on certain days. Sometimes I'm all over the place, but yeah, I'm sticking to this one for now.
I want to try them all and see what are the benefits. Unfortunately, then my brain loses it, because if it's not of benefit to me, then it's like, oh no, I don't need that.
Yes.
So then I stick to the one. So I keep coming back to ChatGPT because it's easy and they keep adapting it. But there are, like, even look at Canva. If you're an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
chances are you're using Canva.
Even
There's a lot
corporates
of
using
AI there.
Canva. Just
Sorry?
FYI, even corporations are using Canva.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Marketing teams.
And Canva has a lot of AI in it. I have to say it's not the best AI. I've struggled with the Canva AI images and the text version. So I haven't been really thrilled with it, but I'm
I
sure
didn't
it's
like it.
better.
It came up with 6 fingers.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When I get like that, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. Let's just go pull a picture and put it in. But when we were teaching in the Mindful Entrepreneur Collective, when I had you all do a video, creating a video in Canva, because of the tools that they have incorporated, which are AI based, it simplified creaing a video process. Then there's the script, right? You can take the text from your Zoom meetings, if you do a transcription or an auto transcription, and then put it in Descript and develop a video as well as Pictory. There's so many, you all, so many, but we'll dive into those conversations. There's that AI word. Dive into a little bit more of those types of conversations in our future meetings. But if there's anyone out there that there is something in particular that you would like to learn about, make sure to drop it in the chat or leave it in the comments, and we'll make sure. I just said make sure in 2 sentences. We'll include that in our future presentations.
Yeah, we have a long list of things we want to share with you. We thought we'll just kick it off today with, asking the question. So we'd love to know, how you feel. Is it making us smarter? Is it making us lazier? Is it, making us more mindful? Is it making us more scattered? What are your thoughts about it? And then if there, like Cheryl said, if there's any topics you want to cover, because I'm willing to try almost any of them. Cheryl learns about them because your brother's always trying them, and then tells me, and then
I'll take a look at them for a minute, and then I'm like,
Mm,
nope, got to get back to work because I got to finish this. Got to finish this.
yeah.
So in the future, these are a couple of the topics. I'm not going to go through everything that we've highlighted that we wanted to discuss, but we're going to do potentially a AI basics for beginners to introduce you to foundations, and then using AI for health and wellness. And I have some acquaintances who I anticipate are going to become real good friends in the wellness, in the health industry. I have very good friends in the wellness industry, but some doctor friends, and they're very tapped into how they're using AI. I want to bring her on here specifically and share some of the fascinating stories that they use. And she's a futurist, so she's got a real good um, tap into some of the things that are going on in the world. And then everyday life, safety and privacy. That's where we're going to start to get a little bit more into the details, like energy use. How much energy is being used, and what's the dangers that it's causing, because the energy use is going to require nuclear plants to be reactivated. And what's the impact of that on the on our environments?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, AI powered analytics. You want me to keep going? You want to say something?
No, yeah, great topics. I was just, yeah, that one's been the one that people have said the most, I think, because it's just in the news right now, is the energy consumption. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, we've been doing some research on that as well. So we want to share that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a good spot to call it quits and prepare
Yeah.
for the next one.
Unless anyone has any final questions before we go, or comments that you want to share, we will be back in the new year, and we want to do something quite regularly. Some will pre-record, some will show up live. We both like live because we can just show up and do it. We also love having conversations with other people. So if you want to be a part of that, there are times when we can bring you into the studio to even be a part of the conversation if you want. So yeah, if there's something you want to be a part of, let us know that too.
Yeah, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also on LinkedIn, please join our group, and we'll have some direct conversations there.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Definitely more in the new year. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Happy holidays.